Okay, you know that feeling, staring at your suitcase, trying to decide what absolutely has to go in and what you might just leave behind to save an ounce or two.
Oh, yeah. The packing agony.
Right. Or maybe worse, you do leave something behind, and then the whole trip you're thinking, ugh, if only I'd brought that extra jacket or, those comfy shoes.
Been there. Definitely done that.
We all have. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a really unique destination, Mongolia, and one item that seems, well, maybe optional at first glance, but turns out to be absolutely essential.
And that item is?
Binoculars. And our main source, a writer named Anita L. Hummel, she actually chose to ignore the advice to bring them initially.
Learning the hard way.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. Anita's decision nearly cost her some, truly incredible once-in-a-lifetime moments in Mongolia.
Mm-hmm.
But her journey, her lesson learned, basically becomes our shortcut. It shows you precisely why, if you're heading to those vast, wild, frankly breathtaking landscapes, you really shouldn't make the same mistake.
And what's fascinating, I think, is how this seemingly small packing choice, it really opens up a whole deeper understanding of Mongolia itself.
How so?
Now, it's geography, it's culture, it's sheer wildness. It makes you ask, how do we actually prepare to experience a place that just completely defies our usual expectations? Mongolia isn't your standard tourist spot.
No, definitely not.
And the gear you bring or don't bring reflects that huge difference.
Okay, so you mentioned the geography defying expectations. What is it about Mongolia's scale specifically that makes binoculars so indispensable, maybe compared to other places someone might travel?
Right. Well, it boils down to perception, really. Most of us, we're used to landscapes that are, well, tamed maybe, or at least structured by roads, towns, fences.
Yeah, familiar boundaries.
But Mongolia, especially once you get outside the capital, Ulaanbaatar, it's just a whole different beast. It's raw, untamed space.
Anita talks about that, right? Her friend Diebold, who owns a local tour company, New Milestone Tours, he tried to warn her.
He did. He kept telling her how incredibly wide open it is, just vast. But like many first-timers, she was probably a bit skeptical.
She thought it might be more like other parts of Asia she'd seen. Maybe more towns, more development along the roads.
Precisely. She had a familiar picture in her head. But then she actually experienced it. Imagine this. You're driving for a full hour on a 2-lane road, not even a highway.
Okay.
And in that whole hour, you pass maybe just a couple of tiny, tiny settlements. We're talking a few traditional bridgers, maybe a single gas pump, a small general store, perhaps a little clinic, and a room or two for travelers.
Wow. For an entire hour of driving.
For an hour. She said it was a real shock. Just this incredible, untouched, almost limitless feeling of space. It's a landscape that just swallows distance.
That really paints a picture.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want to experience, isn't it? You travel all that way, you want to see into that distance.
You want to get a close-up view of the wildlife, the details, not just zoom past and wonder, what was that speck over there?
Yeah, it's like looking at a painting from across the gallery versus stepping up close to see the actual brushstrokes.
Exactly right. And that sense of immense scale, those endless horizons, it's just fundamental to the whole Mongolian experience. It's not just pretty scenery, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
It shapes everything.
Right.
And because it's so vast, what looks like an empty hillside or plain to your naked eye, well, it often holds amazing details, maybe animals moving or interesting rock formations just beyond clear sight.
Until you bring out the binoculars.
That's the key. They bring it all into sharp focus. Suddenly that blurry shape becomes, a herd of gazelles or an eagle soaring. They reveal the hidden life in that expanse.
And it's not just for us tourists trying to get a better photo op, is it? Anita saw how crucial they are for the local people, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's what really drives home how indispensable they are in Mongolia. It's not just about tourism. It's a genuine survival tool for the nomadic herders.
Okay, tell us more about that. That sounds really compelling.
Okay, picture this. Anita's staying with a nomadic family deep in the Gobi Desert. It's rugged, beautiful, but incredibly vast.
Right.
And suddenly, their camels, their entire herd, their livelihood, they've just vanished, disappeared into this huge undulating landscape.
Oh, wow. The stress must have been intense. That's everything to them.
Everything. It's not like losing a pet cat. It's their family's survival wandering off. And the Gobi, it's got plains, rocks, sand. Things can easily get hidden from view, even in the open.
So what did they do? How did they even start looking?
The herder, his friends, they immediately jumped into action, fanning out across the desert, some on dirt bikes, some galloping on horses, even riding other camels.
A full search party.
Absolutely. And here's the striking part. Every single one of them had a pair of binoculars slung around their neck or ready to go.
Every single one.
Everyone. These weren't, an optional extra. They were as vital as their saddle or their water supply.
Oh,
It was the tool they needed to scan those vast distances to turn a distant shimmer or speck into, okay, that's one of ours. It helps them quickly find their lost animals in a landscape that, it doesn't offer easy hiding spots, but it also doesn't give you clear sight lines for miles and miles with just your eyes.
that really hammers it home. It's not just for sightseeing, it's a literal tool for survival.
It really is. That experience clearly cemented it for Anita, and it should for us too.
So I hadn't really thought of it as a survival tool for locals. That makes perfect sense. So for us, the traveler, it then becomes, what did you call it? A tool for richer immersion, almost like a way to understand that local reality better.
I think so, yes. It bridges that gap. For you, the visitor, binoculars let you really engage with that environment on a deeper level. You're not just passively looking at it from afar.
Yeah.
You're transforming those distant specks into vibrant, memorable moments. It becomes part of your story, your discovery.
And speaking of discovery and wildlife, Anita also went to Hisai National Park, right? Near Ulaanbaatar, famous for those Przewalski horses.
Yes. The Taki, the Mongolian wild horse. An incredible conservation story, really. These horses were actually extinct in the wild for a time.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, completely gone from the wild. But through massive, dedicated efforts over decades, they've been reintroduced. Now there are around 2,000 roaming free, many in parks like Hustai.
That's amazing.
They're magnificent, really sturdy, dun-colored with those distinctive sort of upright manes. But they're genuinely wild, very wary of people, so spotting them isn't always easy.
So Anita and her group get there, all excited to see these amazing horses,
And they're staring at what looks like a totally empty hillside where the horses are supposed to be. You know that feeling? You travel all that way.
oh yeah, the wildlife disappointment moment. It happens.
It does. You feel a bit deflated. But then luckily, pure chance, a park researcher rides up on his dirt bike, sees them scanning the empty hill.
And he had binoculars.
He did. And he very kindly loaned them his pair.
And that was the aha moment.
That was totally it. Suddenly, through the lenses, there they were. These magnificent, rare horses, grazing peacefully in the distance. They just materialized out of what looked like nothing.
Wow.
And what's so powerful about that story is realizing what you were missing just moments before. Without that borrowed pair, their whole Hustai experience would have been, well, we went to where the horses were meant to be. A missed opportunity.
Right, a story about what they didn't see.
Exactly. It just highlights so clearly how a little preparation in this case, having your own binoculars, can completely change the quality of your experience. It turns potential disappointment into this awe-inspiring, unforgettable memory. You don't just get told the horses are there, you see them. You witness their wildness.
Okay, I'm convinced. After hearing about the nomads needing them for survival and needing them to actually see these incredible rare horses, binoculars are definitely on my hypothetical Mongolia packing list now.
Good call.
So if you're listening and you're convinced too, what kind should you actually look for? Anita gives some really good pointers in her write-up. It's not just any old pair, right? It needs to be light, durable, good range, but there are specifics.
Yeah, and this is where we can empower you with the info to make a smart choice. It's about understanding those numbers you see on binoculars, which can seem a bit like jargon, but are actually pretty simple and super useful.
Okay, break it down for us.
So the first number, like 10x or 12x, that's the magnification. 10x means the object looks 10 times closer than it does with your naked eye.
Simple enough.
The second number, like 42 or 50, that's the diameter of the big lenses at the front, the objective lenses, measured in millimeters. Bigger lenses gather more light, which means a brighter, clearer image, especially in low light, think dawn or dusk, which are often the best times for spotting wildlife.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
But bigger lenses usually mean heavier binoculars. So crucially, you have to think about weight. You'll be carrying these things maybe around your neck or in a harness for potentially hours.
Definitely. You don't want something that feels like you're lugging a brick around after an hour of hiking. So the source mentions a few specific recommendations.
It does, yeah. Offering different features depending on your priorities.
First up was the Vortex Optics Diamondback Roof Prism Binoculars. What's the key thing about these?
Durability and reliability, really. When you're going somewhere like Mongolia, conditions can change. Fast sun, dust, wind, maybe even unexpected snow, like Anita experienced.
Right. Reliability is key.
Vortex has a great reputation for making tough, high-quality optics that can handle the elements. Plus, they often have fantastic warranties, sometimes lifetime ones, which is huge peace of mind when you're far from anywhere.
That warranty sounds amazing for remote travel, and they come in different sizes.
Yeah, good range. You can get compact ones, maybe around a pound, or mid-size or full size, which gather more light but way closer to 2 pounds. You can choose based on your needs.
And features like adjustable eye cups.
Oh yeah, essential if you wear glasses. Lets you get the full view comfortably. Basically, investing in a solid, fog-proof, waterproof pair like these means you won't be let down when conditions get rough.
Okay, solid choice for reliability. Then there was a different kind of option. The Zoom X waterproof, lightweight, compact binocular. This one had a really unique feature.
It did. The cell phone adapter. That's the standout here.
So you can take photos through the binoculars with your phone.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer for the modern traveler. You can observe and capture those distant moments to share later. The photo quality will depend a bit on your phone and how steady you are, of course.
Sure.
But the potential is great. It's a 10 by 42 model, so good magnification and light gathering, but still lightweight, just over a pound, and you can mount it on a tripod.
For extra stability for those phone pics. Smart.
Yeah, huge bonus for getting clear shots. It's really about easily documenting what you're seeing way out there.
Being able to capture and share is definitely a big deal for a lot of people. Okay, and finally, if maybe budget is a bigger concern or you just want good value, the source mentioned the compact waterproof binoculars by Renaissance.
Right. The Renaissance option shows you don't necessarily have to spend a fortune to get something really capable that will still massively improve your trip.
What are the specs on that one?
It's a 12 by 42, so actually slightly higher magnification than the Zoom X, and still just over a pound. It hits a really good sweet spot of power, light gathering, and portability for the price.
So a solid value pick.
Definitely. It makes that essential benefit seem further accessible. Comes with a strapping case too, so you're good to go.
Okay, so we've got you kitted out with the perfect binoculars. Now let's zoom out a bit to the rest of your packing list. Anita shared some other crucial items besides the binos. It's all about practicality and comfort in that huge, sometimes tough landscape.
Yeah, this really speaks to preparing properly for Mongolia. Conditions vary wildly, and you can be far from shops or amenities. Being physically comfortable lets you actually enjoy the exploration.
Makes sense. Top of the list, good hiking boots.
Non-negotiable. You'll be walking on everything from grassy steppes to sandy dunes in the Gobi, maybe rocky trails. Good ankle support, sturdy soles, and make sure they're broken in before you go.
Oh, good tip. Nothing worse than blisters on day one. Next, easily layered clothes.
Absolutely critical. Temperatures can swing massively in Mongolia, like 20 or 30 degrees Celsius in one day, especially out in the open Gobi or higher elevations.
Wow, that's a huge swing.
It is. So you need layers you can easily add or remove. Think moisture-wicking base layers, maybe a fleece, a windproof, waterproof outer shell. Adaptability is key.
And a large scarf. Seems simple, but versatile.
Surprisingly useful. Yes, for warmth in the evening, but also sun protection for your neck and face during the day. Wind protection, even as a makeshift dust mask if a dust storm kicks up, which can happen. Multi-purpose.
Good thinking. Then, tech-wise, a good quality battery pack.
Vital. You might go days without access to reliable electricity. Keeping your phone charged for photos or emergencies, maybe your camera, your headlamp. It's a lifeline when you're off-grid.
Definitely need that. And speaking of light, a lightweight flashlight or headlamp.
Essential. Those Mongolian nights are dark, away from any light pollution. The stars are incredible, but finding your way around camp or to the outhouse without a light, pretty tricky. Don't just rely on your phone.
Good point. And finally, something practical for hygiene. Bathing towelettes.
Highly recommended. Showers or traditional bathrooms might be, well, unavailable or very basic in remote areas, especially if you're staying in figures. Having wipes lets you freshen up and feel human.
All sounds incredibly useful for getting off the beaten track. So when is the best time to actually go and use all this gear? The source recommends the summer months.
Yeah, June, July, and August are generally considered the ideal time. Understanding the seasons is crucial anywhere, but especially in Mongolia with its extreme climate.
Why summer?
Warmer temperatures, less chance of really disruptive weather. It just makes all the outdoor stuff, the hiking, riding, exploring, much more pleasant and feasible.
Anita went in May, though, and she said it snowed.
It did, which shows how unpredictable it can be. But she still said it was generally pleasant. So maybe aim for after mid-May for a better chance of decent weather. Early September is also mentioned as a good shoulder season.
Benefits of September.
Cooler than high summer, often fewer crowds, and you might get some nice autumn colors starting in certain areas.
But there's a big warning about winter.
A very clear warning. Winter in Mongolia is extremely cold, thinking of negative 30, even 40 degrees Celsius.
Wow. Okay.
So while it probably has its own stark beauty, winter travel there is really only for the most hardcore, well-prepared adventurers. For most people planning a trip, summer or the edges of summer are definitely the way to go.
Got it. So as you're dreaming about your next big trip, whether it really is Mongolia's wide open spaces or maybe just exploring somewhere closer to home with fresh eyes, remember this lesson. What started as a seemingly small packing choice, skipping the binoculars, turned into this realization of how much richness, how much detail can just slip by unseen when we don't have the right tools for the scale of the world around us.
It's really about not missing out on the extraordinary details that truly define a place, isn't it?
Exactly. And that kind of leads to a final thought for you to ponder.
Yeah.
How often do we just settle for the naked eye view in life? I mean, metaphorically too. How often do we let our first glance, our assumptions, stop us from looking a little deeper, seeing the connections or the nuances that are just slightly out of reach?
That's a great question. What might we be missing?
Right. What hidden wonders might you uncover in your travels or even just in your everyday world if you brought a new perspective? Or maybe just a pair of metaphorical binoculars to bring the fuzzy distance into vibrant, clear focus.